morning, everyone. This is John Craig. This is not Sandy this morning, and I am going to be with you all along with my co-host today. And I want to say welcome to the next chapter. I have to think about that and say I'm not on one of these other shows that Sandy and I or both do here on the network, but we're so glad that you all here are joining us, and I'll be bringing in my co-host here shortly. I just wanted to say the next chapter. Who am I? Well, I'm John Craig, and Sandy and I are actually married, and we together pastor Life of Worship here in Amarillo, Texas. And so if you're ever in Amarillo, Texas, we'd love for you to come by and say hello and join us on Shabbat for our Torah study or our worship services. And you can always catch us on YouTube as well, because we're live there over at our YouTube channel, Life of Worship Amarillo. But what do we do here on the Lamb Network? Well, we've got the Monday morning War Room. We've got Let Us Reason Together on Monday, the Monday edition. We also have Tuesday evening Walking in Spirit and Truth. And I also, following Walking in Spirit and Truth, coupled with it is the Craig Report. So those are some things that we do besides what Sandy does here on the next chapter. So bringing everybody in, I want to first off welcome Mark David Smith. Good morning, Mark.
Oh, is this the point where I bring myself in? Oh,
yes.
Okay. Hi, John. I was looking at what Joe was saying here. Wow, Sandy, you look a bit scruffy.
Well, you know what? I got a new style. No.
Well, this is totally cool, though, that we get to have you here to, host everything and bring us through. So,
yeah,
very cool.
Cool.
Very
we also
cool.
have Sherry Flanagan joining us this morning.
Oh, good.
And Sherry, you mentioned earlier that you are feeling outnumbered. Sometimes maybe on the show that has more estrogen, we need some more testosterone. Maybe I don't know.
Oh well, it all works out.
Well, good morning. I'm glad to see you this morning. I don't ever get to be with you on any shows.
Well, I have a little estrogen in me every once in a while, Sherry. So we'll just balance things out with. Never mind.
Mark, I just want to let you know there's estrogen blockers for that. Eat broccoli.
Oh, really?
Yeah, eat broccoli.
Do I want estrogen blockers, or am I totally fine with who I'm totally fine with who I am, John. So,
but I want to say this, Mark, you're not of the generation that needs the estrogen blockers. I'm going to leave it at that. All right.
Yeah.
All right, and then
how we get off on things.
I know it. That's what happens when I've got to be here.
Yeah.
So
You trying to lead us down the primrose path and mug us at the end. That's what you're doing. You're an instigator. Stop.
I want you to know everything is an elevation from here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just speaking truth, all right? I'm just speaking truth.
It's all you, John. I had nothing to do with it.
It's all my fault. If Sandy we're here, she'd say, "Yep, it's your fault." Hey,
wow.
we also have Eddie and Tammy Johnson from you're in Florida today.
Hey, we hear them.
Hey.
We're still in Florida.
We're still here. We're slated to leave Sunday, maybe, if we can get our trailers hooked up and get things packed up and head back north.
Cool.
We're gonna go.
Well,
I was gonna go work on my barn. As a matter of fact, I was at the point of climbing in the shower when my phone rang, and Mark said, "You're gonna have to belay your shower thoughts till next Monday, and get on this."
Get on the show now. This is called instant in season and out of season.
Oh my!
So if Tammy has to hold her nose, through the whole show, then we'll understand why. But,
well, I want you to know those shower thoughts. By the way, those shower thoughts. If you skip a day of shower, or maybe go 2 or 3 or more days of shower, they back up on you.
Well, that's it. I was getting into the shower for some relief because I skipped my shower yesterday. Okay, so I was looking for some relief today.
I took one for you, brother. I took a shower for you yesterday.
I think Tammy is the one who
good.
needs relief. Tammy is the one who needs relief, not you.
Sherry, you're experiencing what we normally do on Monday Reason. So you could basically say Sherry's kind of taking Sandy's place here. It's just this is normal for Monday Let Us Read Together.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this is if you watch one of our prior Let Us Reason Togethers, we had some good time with this in the morning. And so if your shower thoughts back up on you, it's called Far From Thinking.
Yeah, if other things back up, it's called Far From Pooping.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
We do some intelligent reasoning on
We're
Monday.
elevating now. We're elevating.
As long as we're not levitating, I'm leaving it.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. That's right. Mark, you had something you wanted to talk about this morning.
I want you to let everybody know what the Craig Report is. What is that?
Yeah.
Well, the Craig Report is typically is what when we do the Craig Report is we attach it to the end of our Walking in Spirit of Truth show on Tuesday evenings, where it's 8 o'clock Central Time, p.m., 8 o'clock Central Time. And so we have our discussion and study at the beginning, and then we switch over to Twitch where we're not censored, and we talk about some of these world events, current events that are going on, things that we can't talk about on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that without getting kicked off or getting censored or getting put in timeout or whatever, and bring up these events that really affect us. Now, some of those items, of course, have been revolving around, especially in this last year, have been around the disease that came and has surged around the world, and then their solutions for it, and why those solutions are not necessarily the greatest solutions. We've talked about that, and just to keep people informed and up to date. But lately, we've been talking about the events that are building up over in Ukraine with Russia, and getting a proper, what I would say is a proper perspective on it, because it's hard to find any information. More news is coming out about it right now, but it's really slanted and spiked. So we bring out all those elements and put them together. And then what does it mean to us as believers, especially in the day and the hour that we're living in, and putting those pieces together, and some of my thoughts on it, just because I can. No, but I want to put some thoughts into it, to put it into a biblical perspective, into a preparation perspective, in terms of a timing that we look up, because our redemption is drawing nigh. And so it's not to cause fear or to cause people to be anxious or anything like that, but to say, wow, this is really where we're at. And as believers, we have things to be looking forward to, because we have a king that will lead us through that. So that's what the Craig Report is about. And
if you want to find it, here is the Lamb Network, MessianicLambNetwork.com homepage. This is what you would see when you first come on, and then you can literally scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see all the Lamb's latest publications, which look right there. See, it's the second one down. And you just click on the first one, and it'll give you the latest. But then you can also watch one of the other ones, and down here we'll send you to his webpage on the Lamb Network that'll give you all of his broadcasts. So there you go. That's how you can find the Craig Report on the Lamb Network.
And I do want to say this is on Tuesday evening, it was a continuation of what we talked about on Monday, getting more updates, and you don't want to miss it. You want to go check out Tuesday's edition. Amen. So we talked about a lot of different things. Yeah.
Amen.
All right. So selfless plug there, but nevertheless, so I have some things that I want to bring into the discussion this morning, and this has to do with the ultimate bucket list. Top 10 that are on the world. This really actually came out of Australia, but I have to say this. It's not just that it came out of Australia, but I think this might run the gamut for a lot of different people across the world, and wanted to share some of these things of the bucket list. You guys have a bucket list?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Things you want to do before you move
Kick
on.
the bucket.
Before you kick the bucket. That's right. So now I have to say some of these things I've done already. Some of them I haven't. I have to say, looking at these, I'd say I don't really care about their popular list, but let's get your ideas on it. Number 10 for the bucket list is go zip lining.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Has anybody?
That's not on my bucket list. I'm
Don't
sorry.
wanna do it.
Go ahead.
It's not on the bucket list, but I wouldn't mind doing it. Yeah.
Well, I've done that, except it was in a cable car and there were many people with me.
Oh, yeah.
I've been up Corcovado to Sugarloaf, had my picture put on the plate. I've done that. Hello. So I've had not ticket punch. It wasn't a quote personal zip line. So would a cable car qualify as having done a zip line?
No.
I think it does.
Not unless there was no stopping the car.
Yeah. What if you were rescued? What if your car was stopped and you've been rescued?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
That's the definition, zip. How about this next one?
I'm not for zip lining. Not maybe.
No.
You know what happens to people who zip line a lot of times? They kick the bucket. You hit a tree, you kick the bucket. I
That's
guarantee.
sharp, Sherry. She is
Oh,
sharp.
that's great. That's really good. That's fine.
Well, I would love to go to one of those zip lining places where it's
That's
like
good.
the super, super long zip lines where you're going over the tops of all the trees and you're going forever, like on the movie Divergent.
Yeah,
Now that is the ultimate zip line right there.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I don't like the way they stop on that one. Now I don't like that. You gotta reach by and get that handle.
I know. That's good.
But
Okay.
remember what personality they were on Divergent.
That's just-
They were the whatever they call them, people who would do anything nutty.
That's right.
Jump off of, my son is one of those. He jumps out of perfect airplanes that are
Yes.
flying okay, but he jumps out and puts a
Jumps
sheet
out.
over his head to stop.
Yeah. Well, I used to do that. I used to have a sheet, tie around my neck and jump off the bed or jump off, the steps but
There's a difference between jumping off a bed and jumping out of an airplane 2,000 or 3,000 feet up.
right. Right. Here's number 9. Number 9, buy a house. Buy a house is on people's bucket list.
That's on our
Oh
bucket
yeah,
list.
yeah. We're trying to do that down here in Florida.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, some of us already own our own house. And
Yeah.
Well, we already own one too, but
We
we
don't
just
want
want to
North Carolina,
relocate.
but
we're already there, John, on that one. all
Yeah,
of
see,
it.
some of these things are really not that quite unusual. I mean,
Sure.
a lot of times we think about, all these big exotic things. It's not necessarily that unusual. How about this one? Run a marathon.
Run a marathon. Hmm.
There was
Not
a
even
time
really.
I wanted to run a marathon.
I
Okay.
never wanted to run a marathon.
no,
I have to have a
Running has
reason
never
to be
been one.
running.
no.
I didn't even like running in the Air Force for PT.
How about this next one? Go scuba diving.
Yeah, sure.
That's not
Yeah.
too bad.
I've
Yeah.
snorkeled, but I've never.
I've done a
scuba
lot
dived.
of. We do. In the springs here in Florida, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
It's
it's
absolutely
real
wonderful.
popular for scuba diving.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, our favorite spring was it last March or April?
Yeah.
There was a Chinese lady
Chinese
that
lady.
drowned in the caves under our favorite spring.
She got caught in the whirlpool underneath there and died.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
And people want to do this for what?
Yeah.
For fun? Are you kidding? And besides that, a lot of times you find a fish that's bigger than you, and guess what? Bob has told me when they have had divers had to go down in some of these locks on the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And they had to go down in the locks to fix something.
Those
Some
channel
of them
cats.
have come up and they're like, I ain't going back because there's catfish down there that's bigger than me.
You're right.
Go back.
You're
Yeah.
100% correct.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that's not my dream location to scuba dive. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was going to say. It depends on where you're scuba diving.
Yeah. Yep. How about this one? Yeah, and this is actually number 6 on the list. Number 6, get married.
Get married. There you
Get
go.
married.
They've done that. Lots of fun.
All of us have done it. Yeah. Mhm.
Sadly,
Yeah.
3 times for me.
Third time's a charm for both of us.
Third time for both of us. We never
John,
dreamed we'd have 2 more, you know.
John, on our last week's show, I mentioned a television show that I've been watching, and Sandy says she's seen it. Have you seen it too? It's called Married at First Sight. It's
Yes.
where people that are having trouble dating, and they're all around 30 years old, and they've had a lot of bad dates and stuff. They have experts put them together with somebody, and they don't actually see or know anything about each other until they're standing at the altar. It's like one of those arranged marriages, and
Yeah.
it's so getting married could be quite the ordeal if you're doing it for a bucket list. It could be something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. This list comes out of the top ideas from the general population, but out of a lot of the population, to get married would be something that they really want to do, especially in a world that doesn't that doesn't seem to encourage marriage.
Yeah, anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, here's the next one. Number 5 is swim with the dolphins. Swim with the dolphins. Now, I actually, Sandy and I went to Cancun. We took Jonathan to Cancun one year it's for his senior trip because we homeschooled, and I swam with the shark. I actually held the shark in my hands.
Wow.
How big was
Or
I think it was drugged.
if you're an NFL fan, you can follow them around to where they're staying in the hotel, and you get to swim with them all the time in the swimming pool.
There you go. You're from Florida.
I didn't swim with the sharks, but I swam with the barracudas. You can see,
How about this next one? Go on a cruise. Have y'all ever been on a cruise?
Oh, I've been on plenty of them, bro.
Yeah, in the Navy.
I've been on more than you can imagine.
Yeah,
But it's not the same kind of
With
cruise.
6,000 other boys.
that's
out
right.
there, yeah.
Same a year. Yeah,
Yes, sir, buddy.
That's not
We
a
went
dream
on a
location.
cruise for our 30th wedding anniversary back a couple of years ago, and we took, we had the kids and everything. It was an Alaskan cruise.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Oh,
We
yes,
had a lot of fun
I'll
and
bet.
everything. We'd never been on one before. I mean, my son-in-law and daughter have, but Bob and I hadn't, and we had a really wonderful family time together. And I'm glad we did it because of the problems now that they have because of the plague
Yeah.
that we have going on. And
Yeah.
it's really
You mean, Sherry, they didn't launch and recover aircraft on your ship?
no, we had this big arm thing that went way up in the air though, and we could go.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And
What a
then they
trip,
had
man.
another thing that that the other people got in. I didn't, but it was like you could stand in there, and they put all this wind on you, and it was like you were jumping out of an airplane, like skydiving and stuff.
That's
Oh,
right.
cool.
They enjoyed that.
That'd be fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I
maybe
never
we could
thought about it.
incorporate
I've
that
been
on-
on two cruises, and they were both called Westpac cruises. So,
Done it, bro. That was my first one. 8 months and 6 days.
it's a bunch of guys, and none of us were gay. So
There you go, man.
You were not very happy, huh?
No, man.
it was great.
Oh, man.
Well, how about this next one? This next one is number 3 on the list. We're getting close to it. Get a tattoo.
No way, Jose.
Exactly. Isn't that interesting? I think this getting a tattoo is all preparation for what's happening in the day and the hour today. But nevertheless, that's what the world thinks. They, get a tattoo is on a bucket list. I'm like, no.
And that high on the list, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, number 3.
Yeah.
That's sad.
That's like graffiti on your own body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It never goes away.
Yeah, can't scrub that one off.
But it's difficult.
No, even then it still doesn't go away completely. My brother did that. He did something stupid in his youth, and he tried to get it erased later, and it really didn't erase.
Looks like a scar.
And there are people that come to the Lord after they've had it. So, it is what it is. But
no,
my
daughter has them, and I'm like, are you nuts? Quit.
Well, the Torah specifically says not to put a mark in your body.
Yeah, right.
So.
And from what I understand, they can be addictive. I understand that it's almost like a form of cutting. Those people that do cutting, I'm not saying the people that get tattoos are cutters, but cutters, because there's something in the cutter that they're trying to release that anguish, and so they rather have the pain physically than emotionally. But there's something that's addictive that comes from going through that process. I don't understand it.
It used to be a sign in the Navy that you went ashore for some liberty, you got excessively intoxicated, and you had no idea how that appeared on your arm.
Right?
Yeah.
You had to be a drunk sailor to get a tattoo. Hello.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Yeah, back in the day. How about this number 2? Okay, Sherry, your favorite. You've already mentioned it. Skydive. This is number 2 on this bucket list.
But Cherry, you can skydive with your cat if you wanted to.
My cat has better sense than that.
Let's go in the wind tube and do it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that. I told them, go for it, guys. I am not for any of that.
Yeah.
I just, like now, if the plane's going down, that's a different thing. We went up in that Sears Tower and wherever it was. And we actually went up in the Twin Towers before they fell when we were in New York. And it was so funny. We'd get in the elevator and I would hold Bob's hand and turn like this into him. I couldn't think about it. And the guy told me, he said, "Lady, are you all right?" And I said, I'm fine. And then I'd get out and say, just pretend you're not a gazillion miles in the air. Just pretend. And then at the pyramid here in Memphis at the Bass Pro, it's now the Bass Pro thing on the river. And you walk out onto a balcony and the floor is see-through plexiglass. So you walk out and you look down and you go, oh my.
Yeah.
They've got a footbridge in North Carolina, actually, near, is it Grandfather Mountain? That is plexiglass.
Have you been to that, Mark?
A suspended footbridge.
No, I haven't. I wouldn't mind, but my wife would not go anywhere near it. So
yeah.
All right. So the number one on this bucket list. Number 1. Now that we got there, is get this, and you're going to be blown away. This is what most people want to do, and so it floated to the top. See the Northern Lights.
Really?
Really? Been there, done that.
They are
incredible. It is just absolutely incredible to watch the light move across the dark sky. It's just incredible.
On that Alaskan cruise, we went up there at a time when they could possibly be seen. We did not see them, which is fine. We praise the Lord. We had a good time. But that was one of the things we were really excited about. We wanted to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, sister. It's coming to a neighborhood near you.
Hey, we're going to see lights better than the Northern Lights.
You're going to see
the light of His coming.
That's right.
Very cool.
Yeah. We used to get them all the time. Growing up in Norway, they were quite popular. In the wintertime, we would see them. It was just an amazing thing. It's just cold. It's just always cold for some reason. It was cold when they came out because it was always winter time when they to see the northern lights. Because in the summertime it doesn't get dark enough.
Yeah, you have more hours of darkness in the wintertime.
I'm surprised at what they didn't have. See the pyramids. Go see the Great Cheops Pyramid or the Parthenon or something of that order. Didn't make the bucket list.
Nope, didn't make it.
I got to say, the only structure, and I've been all over this planet, the only structure that took my breath away when I saw it was the Great Cheops Pyramid in Egypt. I was laughing. I was on the bus and looked to my left. I saw a Holiday Inn, and I started laughing. I said, "Here in Egypt, they've got a Holiday Inn." And about that time, I turned my head to the right. My chin detached from my jaw, and I said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
it's that breath. I had been to the Parthenon a month earlier. I love Jerusalem. I love the Garden Tomb and all that. But as far as structures on this earth, I've been to the Twin Towers and the Empire State Building, the St. Louis Arch, and all them places. The Bataan Death March Cross, that's an impressive structure. But buddy, it literally took my breath away. It just was incredible.
All right.
We'll be dancing in the streets, dancing at his feet, dancing in the New Jerusalem, and we will sing Kadosh, Kadosh to the Lord of hosts, joining in the angels' choir, and forever we will be.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.
Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that you met withal, it shall be measured unto you again. Luke chapter 6, verse 38. Lamb Radio is making sure the integrity of this station meets all regulations required by law. If Lamb has been a blessing to you in any way, and you believe the Lord is leading you to help us financially meet these requirements, please donate using the financial support button on MessianicLambRadio.com. May the Lord richly bless you in all of your endeavors.
What does it mean to you to live life Torah style?
Wow, it makes sense. The dots are connected now when I read Scripture, and putting it into action. See, there's one thing different about a Hebraic mindset. A Greek mindset, we like to think and talk about stuff, but the Hebraic mindset is hear and do. Hear and do. Action is always with it. It's, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So to me, it's being obedient to Him. Not for salvation, but out of gratitude, and because He said, this is the way I want you to walk. Be holy, for I am holy. It's not going to look like the world, and people are going to think you're weird. So be it. I don't care. I'm going to follow my Mashiach, Yeshua, my God, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.